Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Okai scooter, urban scooter. It's an electric scooter. This particular model is the ES520B. It's got 10-inch vacuum tires, and the vendor has rated it as a 28-mile range on a single charge. It's a folding scooter, and it has a 300-watt motor with a max output of 600 watts, which can deliver speeds of 15.5 miles per hour, and it can take a load of 265 pounds. So this is a pretty hefty scooter, and it can handle quite a bit amount of weight on it. It can also climb hills with an incline of 24 degrees, which is pretty impressive for a scooter to be able to do. I got this scooter earlier this week, and I took some pictures of it coming out of the box, and I was really impressed with the build quality of this scooter. Just the weld points. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna bring the camera down here so we can take a look at some of what I'm talking about here. If you look at the weld points on here, I mean, look at that. That's just some strong weld points on there. This deck is very wide, and it's also coated with this nice, rubberized, grippy mat on here to help your feet stay in place. The rear mud flaps cowlings on this rear tire in there and held in place by these nice, strong metal rods here. They didn't use a whole lot of plastic on this. Most of this is metal on this scooter. I mean, the cowling is plastic. It's got vacuum tires, so it's going to be a nice softer ride, and they're 10-inch wheels, so it's going to be sitting higher than a lot of these consumer grade scooters. This really almost looks like one of those Bird or Lime scooters that are used, as rental scooters that you would find out, out on the sidewalk in a city somewhere. But and it could very well be that this company just repurposed some of their business level scooters and made them as personal scooters. But either way, the build quality on this thing is pretty amazing. Now, obviously, I've got some additional accessories on here that didn't come with the scooter. I've got this light, this red light here, and this phone mount that don't come as part of it, but the remainder is on there. And this cup holder, obviously, it's not part of it as well, too. But the build quality on this thing is pretty amazing. I'm impressed. I like the brakes that it comes with. It comes with disc brakes on the back, and then when you pull the lever, it's actually engaging a magnetic brake, or I'm not sure exactly what the term is, but it's a brake that engages the hub motor. So it's like a resistance brake inside the hub motor. So by pressing the lever, you're actually engaging the rear disc brake as well as the hub motor electronic brake at the same time. So it provides for some nice even distribution of the brake power. So that makes stopping quick, but it also makes it smooth. And you have the thumb throttle. And if you hold down the thumb throttle for 8 seconds, it enables cruise control at that speed. Now, the nice thing is that this scooter is app controlled, so you can turn off cruise control. There's a lot of different settings. Actually, I'll show you the app here in a little bit, but you can turn a bunch of settings and configurations on and off inside the app that connects to the scooter via Bluetooth. It has a rear light and a rear brake light, and I gotta check and see if that actually brakes, if it lights up when you actually hit the brakes on the scooter. Let's see here. I'm pressing the brakes. Yep, sure enough, when you hit the brakes, it flashes the rear light, so that's a good thing. The main console on here provides for multiple speed settings. Right now you can see it's in high gear. You can change the top speed settings by double pressing the power button, and it will alternate between the 3 miles per hour, which is like the eco mode setting, the low gear setting, which is 9 miles per hour, and then the high gear setting, which is 15.5 miles per hour. Pressing the button once will actually toggle the headlight on or off, and then holding the power button down will turn the scooter off. Actually, I probably should turn it back on. So you got the Bluetooth signal letting you know that it's ready to connect, and then this is the battery meter. It shows you like the status of the battery. Like I said, there's a lot more information on the actual app itself that is provided when it's connected to the scooter. So we'll go through that in a little bit here. This little guy right here is actually part of the, it's like an engagement clip that clips on to this back knob right here. So when you fold the scooter, let's actually fold it real quick here. You're going to pull up on this guy, pull down, it'll disengage that, and then as you come here, you're clipping onto that right there, and now you can lift the scooter and, you know, carry it wherever it is that you want to carry it. And for comparison, I have another scooter, which is a Jetson scooter, which is a regular consumer grade scooter. And you can look at the difference in size between these two guys. This one has 8-inch wheels. And this one's got 10-inch wheels. But I mean this Okai scooter is much larger, much more robust. You know, the deck is much wider than it is on the Jetson. It's just so much nicer scooter. Okay, we're going to take a look at the app that comes with it. So you, as part of the documentation, is a QR code. You download the app, and this app connects to your scooter via Bluetooth. And Okai makes several different models. This particular one is the ES5020B. I think from their naming center, I think this was probably the top of the line model that they make here. Certainly from the specs, it looks like it's higher specifications than the other models. But nonetheless, you could connect to multiple scooters from this company via the app. So we'll just start going through some of the settings in here. This is kind of an interesting setting here. If you, you can actually lock the scooter, and what this does is when you lock it, it prevents you from being able to push the scooter around easily. Obviously, I can't really show you this in video. You'd have to experience it yourself. But as you're pushing the scooter, the front wheel, you know, since there's a hub motor in there, it engages the hub motor, and it basically makes it difficult to push or pull the scooter on the ground. Obviously, this isn't going to stop somebody from picking up the scooter off the ground and just running off with it, right? But if they try to turn it on and use it, you know, because even once the scooter is off and they turn it back on, it's always going to default to lock mode. So there's no way for them to turn the lock mode off unless they have the app installed and it's already paired with my device here. I'm sure there's a way around that, but it just makes it more inconvenient for somebody to mess with it. But, you know, best advice is don't leave your scooter unattended. Especially these things that cost $700, $800, $900, don't leave them unattended. All right. Ride history is pretty self-explanatory. It shows you the rides that you've taken, how long you've gone, that sort of thing. Diagnostics allows you to do diagnostics on the scooter and send log files and whatnot to the builder, Okai. Battery information gives you information about the battery itself, how many charge cycles you put on it. Ride settings. You can do a firmware update. You can set the ride settings between normal and sport. You see, you try to set it to sport, telling you, hey, the acceleration curve is going to be steeper. You really should only do this if you're, an experienced rider. You can change your unit standards between kilometers and miles per hour. You have cruise control settings, which we talked about earlier, allows you to hold down. Actually, let's turn it off and then turn it back on, and you can see it gives you, after turning it on, you have to hold down the knob to maintain the speed, and then after 8 seconds of holding down the knob, cruise control turns on if you've got this function on. So that's why that's on. So turning on this feature basically activates the throttle without you having to do a kickstart. So basically you don't have to get the scooter going with a kickstart. You just use the thumb throttle to actually get it going, which can be dangerous if you're not accustomed to riding scooters. So just, use this judiciously. Let's see here. And then if you hit go, it will actually log your actual ride, give you the speedometer, the mileage is the whole 9 yards. So it's a pretty neat little functions on the app that are built in. All right, let's record a ride. Yeah, this thing definitely spins up a lot faster than the other scooters that I have ridden. We hit 15 miles an hour pretty darn quick. And it definitely maintains the cruise control once you hold down that throttle for 8 seconds, as you saw on the screen there. I don't know if you saw it on the display, but it actually showed a little cruise control icon. When I hit the brakes, I could feel the hub motor in the front engage. I'm going to try changing the setting. Let's pause it. Well, can I go back? I guess I can. Okay, so ride setting. Let's engage power assist. Go back to go. Resume cycling. Oh yeah, holy cow, it literally peels out. If you have the power assist turns on, it literally peeled out with the front tire with that turned on. Oh, this is a lot of fun to ride. Absolutely love it. And those brakes definitely engage. Yeah, those brakes definitely engage when you press that brake lever. So it is definitely definitely much more powerful than any other scooter that I've ridden. And I'm sure this thing could probably go a lot faster than 15 miles per hour, but there's just limitations on the speed rating on this thing. And I don't know what the incline is on this hill, but it's going up it with no problem. So this scooter is the real deal. Yeah, this is the setting I was talking about right there. on the screen, it's on cruise control. So once you've held it for 8 seconds, you don't really need to do anything more with it. It's just going to hold that cruise control, so you don't have to hold down the thumb throttle. So, yep, I think it's all good.